The 2022 football season was one that will be remembered for a long time. Not only were the Clippers 10-1, they were ranked in the top 10 throughout the year. It was a team led by seniors with everyone accepting and excelling in their roles. It didn't end the way anybody wanted it to, but please come along with us as we remember the success of this year's team.
Malcolm opened the year against UTAN at home. The game started off strong with Hayden Frank running it in from a yard out, although UTAN was quick to fire back with a 10-yard run to tie it up in the second quarter. Thanks to a couple of key defensive stops, Malcolm was able to get the ball back in their hands and capitalize. Following the stops, Frank completed a 65-yard touchdown pass to Logan McGreer. Through many players cramping, the Clippers would go on to beat the Chieftains 14-7, starting 1-0 on the season.
After the win at home, the Clippers would travel to Raymond for a rivalry game. Lucas, from the opening play, ran the ball 78 yards to the house and put Malcolm up by 6. The success of the Clipper defense helped the Clippers throughout the night, totaling 3 interceptions and even 1 pick 6 by Robotham. The Clippers would go on to beat the Mustangs 38-13.
The following week, the Clippers would come back home to play the Knights in a heated homecoming contest. From the opening drive, the Clippers were in for a battle, as the Knights would trot down and score in the first quarter. In the third quarter, Frank threw a 20-yard touchdown pass to Amon for 6. Malcolm finished the fourth quarter scoring with a 9-yard run from Christensen and a successful 2-point conversion from Frank. At the end of regulation, with the score tied at 14, the Clippers were headed to overtime. In overtime, the Clippers would go on to score with a McGreer touchdown and another successful 2-point conversion from Frank to win the game 22-20.
Game 4 was played against Takema Herman, where the Clippers would go on to win 35-0. The game started out with Frank scoring from 1 yard and 11 yards out to go up 14-0. Dalton Amon then caught a 32-yard pass touchdown. Anthony Kuma scored the most memorable touchdown in the game, with the senior right tackle scoring on a 1-yard dive play, pushing the Clippers to 4-0.
The Clippers would then face Tri-County in a fairly expected and easy 41-6 win. Frank busted open the scoring with an 81-yard touchdown run. He would go on to rush for 4 touchdowns and complete a touchdown pass to Dalton Amon. Colt Riling would also get on the board with a 1-yard touchdown run.
Game 6 would be against another rival opponent, Milford. The Clippers would score quickly with 2 touchdown runs by Frank. Stringing together stop after stop on the defensive end, the Clippers would take advantage by scoring on a Christensen 9-yard run and 2 touchdown passes from Frank to McGreer and Robotham. Maddox Meyer would also get a touchdown pass to McGreer to a victory 48-0.
With a 6-0 record, the Clippers would enter a game against Lincoln Lutheran, who sat at number 10 in the C2 rankings. Malcolm would get punched early in the game, going down 14-0. Frank would then switch the momentum with a pick 6 to put Malcolm on the board. Amon would then catch a 32-yard touchdown pass to add to the scoring. With 17 seconds left in the half, the coaches gave the offense one shot at the end zone. An 80-yard touchdown completion to McGreer would end the half for the Clippers with a huge momentum boost. The second half was full of Malcolm scoring. Frank would find the end zone 4 times in the second half to push the Clippers to a 52-35 win. Many key plays were made by Christensen and Meyer on defense and McGreer on offense with his 128 receiving yards.
After a big win, the Malcolm team would then travel to play Centennial. The Clippers would score on every possession of the first half, but the score was still close at 21-19. The defense was the key player in the second half, holding Centennial to only 1 touchdown. Frank and Christensen would score on runs in the third quarter, and then Amon would catch a 55-yard touchdown pass in the fourth quarter to win the game 41-26. Amon would break the single-game receiving record with 155 yards.
The Clippers controlled their own destiny on their quest for an undefeated regular season. Ober Claytonio showed up to the shipyard and battled, but Malcolm put up statistical numbers that are almost never seen. 761 total yards of offense. Yes, you heard that right. 761 yards of offense. Malcolm would score in almost every possession to win 62-28, completing an undefeated regular season. Hayden Frank would tally up 302 passing yards and 179 rushing yards, while Logan McGreer would also break Amon's single-game receiving record with 176 yards. Lucas Christensen would also play a huge role in the run game as a punishing back with 146 yards on the ground and a pair of touchdowns. Oliver Day would also score his first touchdown of the season with a 1-yard run.
With Malcolm being undefeated, they would gain the 4th seed in playoffs and host the 13th-seeded Archbishop Bergen Knights. Even though the Clippers came off as one of the most dominating offensive performances, they almost, if not, upped what they had previously done. This would not include a larger yard total. Malcolm totaled 11 first-half plays, with 5 of them going for touchdowns. A total of 19 offensive plays would be made, with the starters for Malcolm, with 7 of the 19 going for touchdowns and 364 yards.
Week 2 of the playoffs would take the Clippers to Hartington Cedar Catholic. Cedar Catholic would put together a good drive that would only result in a field goal going into the break. The third quarter would be very similar to the first two, with both teams going scoreless. Malcolm would go into the fourth quarter down 3-0. After a few miscues, the Clippers settled for a made field goal by Cody Sykes to tie the game. Overtime would follow. On 3rd and goal, Frank would run a sweep to the right and dive for the pylon to score the first touchdown of the game. To follow the touchdown, Malcolm called a fake field goal and Frank ended up inches short. With key plays from the Clipper defense and the help with the Hartington fumbled snap, Malcolm found themselves in a great position with Cedar Catholic sitting at 4th and 13. Interference call was made against Malcolm, which gave Hartington the ball on the 3-yard line. The very next play, they would find the end zone on an out route to tie the game. Cedar Catholic would go for a PAT to try and win the game. With Malcolm lining up their block team, Hartington snapped the ball and found the middle of the uprights to win the game 10-9.
Thank you for watching this episode of Salute to Success, featuring the Malcolm football team's 2022 season.